Every long-running MMO has a dark underbelly, but early Ragnarok Online was essentially the Wild West of the gaming world. With no soulbound items, an open economy, and a player base fueled by desperation for rare gear, Midgard became a paradise for ruthless con artists. Before modern security features, getting scammed wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. I am the RO historian, and today we travel down memory lane to look at the notorious history of scams in Ragnarok Online. We begin with one of the most brilliant, high-effort psychological tricks in MMO history: the blacksmith name scam. In Ragnarok, when a blacksmith crafts a weapon, the system permanently stamps that character's name onto the blade, like Ryan's cutter. But scammers realized they could weaponize this mechanic. They would create an alternate blacksmith character and name it after a powerful MVP card prefix, like explosive, which is the prefix for the hyper-rare Turtle General card. They would then craft a mundane dagger, resulting in an item named Explosives Dagger. Unsuspecting buyers looking at the vending stall would think they just found a miracle weapon slotted with an MVP card, only to realize they spent their entire life savings on a worthless piece of forged iron. Of course, the community also used this system for pure chaos, creating blacksmiths named Penny just to mass-produce weapons called Penny's Cutter. But for many, the forged name scam was a financial death sentence. Then, we have the classic sleight of hand in the direct trade window, a tactic as old as RPGs themselves. In the heat of negotiations for high-value items, scammers excelled at visual deception. A seller would agree to trade an incredibly valuable golden headgear like the emblem of the sun god. At the last second, right before both players clicked lock, the scammer would swiftly cancel the trade, make a quick excuse about inventory space, and reopen the window. But this time, they would drop in a Wind of Verdure, a common green elemental ore that shared an almost identical sprite size and color palette in the trade window. If you clicked Accept Too Fast, you traded your fortune for a piece of useless rock. A variation of this happened in Frontera's vending streets. Scammers would set up a shop selling a row of valuable slotted shoes for 3 million zeni each, but secretly hide one single, unslotted pair of worthless normal shoes in the middle for the exact same price. One misclick, and your wallet was vaporized. But the psychological warfare didn't stop there. Scammers quickly mastered social engineering by exploiting the game's font, where a capital letter, I, and a lowercase letter L looked completely identical. They would stalk the streets of Frontera, find two wealthy friends or guildmates, and create a clone character. If your friend's name was Geldon, the scammer would make a character named Geldon, using a capital BY instead of the L. They would then send you a private message, casually asking to borrow your rare equipment for a quick test, only to vanish into the horizon the moment you handed it over. Even worse, scammers would create characters with names like Game Master or Support NPC, typing in yellow text colors, using chat commands to convince terrified players that their accounts were under investigation. They would demand that you hand over your items for a security check, capitalizing on fear to rob players blind. Finally, as the game evolved, the scamming meta migrated onto private servers, adapting to unique custom mechanics. On many high-rate servers, players could purchase donation points to use at a special NPC that offered a guaranteed +10 equipment upgrade with zero risk of breaking the item. The catch? The item had to be in the player's active inventory. This birthed the infamous Trust Upgrade scam. Players would stand in Frontera advertising that they were selling their safe donation upgrades. Desperate players, terrified of breaking their incredibly rare +9 gear, would willingly hand over their prized possessions to a complete stranger, expecting them to walk over to the NPC and upgrade it for them. Instead, the scammer would simply log off, delete the character, or use a fly wing into the horizon, leaving the victim standing empty-handed in the dirt. From forged blades to visual trickery, font manipulation, and broken promises, the streets of Frontera taught an entire generation of gamers a harsh lesson in digital cynicism. It wasn't just a game, it was a masterclass in survival. Now let me know in the comments, did you encounter any interesting scam tactics over the years in Ragnarok Online? If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. You will find lots of Ragnarok Online content here. Also check out the description box under this video. You will find a link to the official Ragnarok Zero global server.